then to shed more light on the discovery, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Yahia Abdulqader, our tourism consultant. Thank you very much for being with us, sir.
Mr. Mir, very delighted to talk to you.
Before going into any details, sir, am I pronouncing his name right? Wasser Ifra?
Wasser Ifra, yes, this is the name of the prince.
Wasser Ifra, yes. Well, sir, I'm not going to say a year after the other, or even a month after the other. A day after the other, the Saqqara necropolis seems to have a lot of other treasures beneath, and we are just trying to discover each one by one. What about this area, sir? Why the Saqqara necropolis is that much filled with tombs, with treasures, as I said, and how do you see the achievement as made or as achieved purely by Egyptian hands?
Well, talking about ancient Egyptians or modern Egyptians?
No, I'm talking about the archaeological mission, as the discovery was totally made by Egyptians, and I'm talking about the Saqqara necropolis as a land or a piece of land filled with treasures.
Well, really, you're quite right. The Saqqara necropolis, really, it has been like, like the most sacred burial site for ancient Egyptians, like all the way from pre-dynastic up to the, like the modern kingdom, that span of over 3,000 years. And this is the whole region, from Saqqara to the Giza necropolis, was one great burial site. So we have seen the development of the Djoser, like the pyramid, and all the way we're coming to the Giza necropolis, where you have the Cheops Khephren and Mycerinus, and it's all tied, like to eternity and to celestial powers, So very recently, the Egyptian archaeological expedition discovered that the tomb of Prince Wasser Ifra. He is the son of the king and the pharaoh Osiris, founder of the 5th dynasty that belongs to the Old Kingdom.
Sir, why this discovery in specific is really significant? Because in every discovery, we know something new about our ancient Egyptian civilization. We know something new about the era of which the one whose tomb was discovered is related to. We know something which, when we put it together as puzzle, we know a new story. Am I right? If you please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, really, you're quite right. This is, like a great discovery, because as I mentioned, like Saqqara necropolis, I remember, like the 80, like sarcophagus that we have, like with the sacred bulls and ibis and all this. So in this, like tomb, you'll find, like that was the burial site for the prince, 5th dynasty, and it has been used over like 20 centuries, because later they found, like a statue of a pharaoh that belongs to the New Kingdom. This is the 26th, like dynasty. Mm-hmm. So the sacred site, like Saqqara, and many of the pharaohs used to have like two burial sites, one in Saqqara and another one in the Valley of the Kings or the Valley of the Queens in ancient Thebes and Luxor.
So, do you want to tell us more about any of the artifacts which was found in the tomb?
Well, first, like the prince, like he carried, like many top titles as a governor, like of the Putu, like region, and he was a royal scribe, he was a judge, he was a minister, and he was a chief priest as well. And Mr. Hawass, he mentioned that he discovered, amazingly, the statue of King Djoser that belongs to the 5th dynasty, his wife and 10 daughters, and his tomb, like in the vicinity, in the neighborhood of this site. So they've been moved, like from the 3rd dynasty over to this young prince that belongs to the 5th dynasty. And there was like, again, there was a pink and rose, like red offering table that shows, like the sacrifices that he was making for the deities, Isis, Osiris, Anubis, Hathor, Nephthys, to guarantee, you know, like his passage, you know, like to the afterworld, you know, like eternity, and he will dwell in paradise after all the
Yeah.
good deeds he's doing and offering he's making for the deities of ancient Egypt.
One final question, Mr. Abdulqader, regarding the impact of such discoveries on our tourism sector in general. Because after each discovery, I think it's a valuable addition to our tourism map in general. And it can add a lot. And it can be a new source of attraction to those who are amazed by the ancient Egyptian civilization, and they want to really discover or share even in witnessing the new discoveries.
Well, really, of course, like world media, you know, like will carry all this news, and we'll have, you know, like many expeditions, and universities, and experts, and, you know, like followers of ancient Egyptian archaeology and civilization. They will be coming because every new discovery, you know, like carries new information and the new knowledge and, you know, like new dimensions for our, you know, like, very profound information about this sacred and this prestigious civilization that we carry its genes, you know, like from 7,000 years ago.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Yahia Abdulqader, our tourism consultant, thank you very much for your input, sir. You're always an added value to our programs.